Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the extra time segment for Everton 0 Fulham 2. Everton just staggered through a game once again at home, lost to an inferior side who gave more than we did, and we come away with 0 points as a result, and a very disappointing result off the back of, it should have been a game which really put some momentum into the season after a really impressive win in midweek. I'm joined by Terry and Owen, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to get through here. So I'll start with you, Owen. What the hell went wrong there?
Everything. It,
Yeah.
it was it was just name anything from that game, any performance or any aspect to it. We just got it horribly wrong. I think we went into it the wrong mentality. We thought we just sort of eased our way into the game. They look like a team that are about 20 points behind 17th place Newcastle. And they came out fine for it, knowing this was their last chance. If they lost that game, they were probably down. So, they've come out and they got the win. They gave everything and we gave nothing at all. It was just like we were still celebrating in the changes from the other night or something. It was just really, really disappointing. I think we should have gone into that game given everything, knowing the games we got coming up were quite difficult. And if we'd have matched them for work rate, we'd have won because they're a very poor Premier League side who are going to get relegated this season, I believe. So it's just incredibly annoying for me that we've lost this game. I think it's a game that at the start of the season you'd have been guaranteeing 3 points, and it's just abysmal how we've managed to sort of get into that situation where
I think
we've lost the game to Fulham. I just
it's not
can't
even
accept.
that we lost to Fulham. We lost comfortably to Fulham.
No, there was no. There,
There was no
there was
smash
no.
and grab about this. They just done us in completely.
After about 3 minutes, I knew we'd get beat. I just watched this for we're going to get beat here today. There was just no urgency from the start. I mean, my first sort of bugbear with the game came from the first 30 seconds. Why do we continuously give the ball away in our own half when there's a direct pass to be made to Richarlison who keeps running the flanks? Gets criticised saying people say he isn't doing anything. Well, he's just running the flanks while we're just passing it amongst ourselves, giving it away in our own half, just giving the ball away. It's just the rule number one of football: don't give the ball away in your own half. Really annoys me, that stuff.
No, you're saying that like the alarm. You say the alarm bells for you started ringing in the first 2 or 3 minutes when we were giving the ball away. For me, the alarm bells started ringing when I saw the starting lineup.
No, but we've done that before, we've been proven wrong. So I'm not in the mood of discussing the lineup because it can go either way. It is what it is. Well, when I watch the team play on the pitch, I can know in about 3 minutes how we're going to get on in the game. And knew it was going to be a comfortable afternoon, comfortable night for Fulham after about 3 minutes. They were just so much hungrier than us. Just
Yeah,
really,
it's embarrassing how much hungry they were,
really,
and I know
really
they're in a
shit.
real predicament.
Being
They need to get points on the board, but so do we. Where's our hunger to get in? The top six or top whatever.
just really shit passing, shit defending, no urgency, just really shit.
Yeah, good way of putting it. Really sums it up pretty well. Terry, your take on that one, mate?
I don't agree with what you said at the beginning of a staggering performance, because staggering suggests some forward motion, and there was certainly none of that, was there? Like, everything was terrible.
I didn't say we were staggering forwards. I didn't say what direction we were staggering in.
It was absolute dross from the word go. Like Owen said, like he said 3 minutes, but there's like the 5 minute test with Everton, isn't it? You can tell from the first minutes of any game, and it predates this manager, predates the previous manager. It's been going since I can remember watching Everton. You can tell in the first 5 minutes of a match
if they're up
which version of Everton they're going to turn up. If they're on it, you know straight away. If they're not on it, you know straight away. And we knew straight away, like, we're not going to turn up here. And it was dreadful. Like, they looked absolutely shattered, even the ones who shouldn't be, who hadn't played in the midweek. They had no urgency about them. They were just popping it around the back four. They were, as Owen said, they were giving it away in our own half. They were just... It was like they wanted to get beat. And I know they didn't, but you could swear by watching it going, they actually don't want to win this game. I couldn't believe it. Like I would say, the lineup. I don't lose my head over the lineup anymore, because I looked at the team against Wolves, and I thought, what the hell is going on? And we were really good in that game. But I don't think it's a personnel thing for out on the pitch. That team was a strong team last night. It's the mentality. It's the way they approach the game. They go into away games and think, right, clean sheet mentality. We're gonna not concede here. We're gonna not lose straight away, and then we'll see where we go from there. Whereas I think they go into these home games, especially against that opposition they sort of consider to be a bit weaker than themselves, and just think, right, then we'll piss this. We'll just
knock it around for a bit and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll knock it around, see what happens, wait for the chance to present itself, and we'll just batter these. And it's caught us out against Newcastle twice, caught us out against West Ham. Now it's caught us out against Fulham. It's a real problem, and I don't know what we do to fix it. It's not about, we'll change this player for that player, or don't do this and do that. I think it's about getting inside the heads of the players, because it's letting them down badly this season. We once again had the opportunity to do something, make a real move in the table, and we just didn't turn up. And this isn't against the top team. This is against a team who, let's be honest, they're crap, Fulham, but they made us look like, their own reserve team. They were much better than us, and they missed about 10 chances before, on top of the 2 that they scored. If we'd have been on it,
well to stay up, honestly.
Yeah, it's just, it was just awful from every single, apart from Tom Davis. Tom Davis had a good game, and I thought it was the wrong substitution to bring him off. Everyone else involved had a terrible game last night.
Yeah, it really was poor from every single.
I've just not even got over how shit that was, and it really has annoyed me, because it came from when they had a goal kick, which we suddenly, how by a miracle we got it over to their half. But when we did, and they had a goal kick, we had 3 players looking to press, and then a big 80-yard gap was where our defence was waiting for it to come back at us. It was just, there was no sort of, I don't know, joined up thinking of anything that we were doing.
No, there really wasn't. This is the thing that I don't get. I've heard a lot of people complaining about style of play lately, and
no, they can complain all they want. Our most successful work is when we're a defensive
No, absolutely. Team. But the thing is, if you're going to do a low block, do a proper low block. Don't do some. Or you stand back there and use all leg it up there. It's leave an absolute,
we think with Brazil when we're playing that we can't. We feel guilty of trying to be defensive against teams like Fulham. Whereas if we just defended, well, we'd have probably won the game, because we'd got a set piece and we'd probably have scored at some point. But when we play teams that we know are better than us, or even a team like Wolves who there's an order that they've been done well, so we know we have to play well against. We can defend well and we do the basics well and we win the game. When we play Fulham or Newcastle, we just rock up and knock the ball about a bit, lose it, and then they suck us in. And
every manager of those teams scrapping down the bottom just goes into a dressing room before a game against us and goes, work your socks off and they'll probably win.
No, it'll happen against every team.
Crystal Palace coming up, Burnley, as you said. Those games.
Good money on both of them getting points to Goodison.
Absolutely.
Very good.
No, any kind of team that are known as scrappers, teams who will defend well, teams who will fight for every ball, you can put your money on them winning them games.
We won't be able to sit back against them 2 teams, for example. So, yeah, I'm writing them off, because we don't have any ideas when we get the ball either. It's just side to side, and then we lose it.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's going on. I don't know why why it's so nonchalant. I don't know where we think we've earned the right to be like that. Because
you've got to earn the right to win a game of football in the Premier League, no matter who you play. There isn't a team in the league you can just turn up half-assed again and expect to win.
Where's that mentality come from? Because I can understand that, cowering in a corner and crapping your pants mentality that we've had for years, but where's this arrogant mentality come from? Because we haven't earned it. I
have no idea. there's never been any situation in the Premier League without no matter who you play where you can expect to turn up and roll a team over. You've got to go out and earn it, and we haven't, and we need to start to, because if we keep getting beat to your Fulhams, if we can't beat Fulham, you're not getting into Europe. God, it really annoys me, because they'll do very well to get 25 points this season. They get 25 points. They should have a street party down in Fulham, because they're not very good. They knock the ball around nice, but they've got no cutting edge. They can't defend, and we just made them look like the best version of themselves yesterday. It's really, really annoying. And then what makes it even more annoying, you turn on Twitter and you get somehow come off that even more annoyed than when you finish watching the game, which you think's impossible having watched the game.
I suppose you're referring to some sort of detractors of the manager or certain personnel or
Richarlison, all of them. None of these players have been playing well. Fair enough, but to sell them for 5 million or whatever, I saw people saying, and the icing on the cake is actual Everton fans retweeting a tweet from a fellow who works in KFC saying Everton will get Graham Potter. Just really piss take, isn't it? It's just a piss take. This whole time's just a piss take, honestly.
Jesus Christ. Terry, what's your take on, like, where do we go from here?
Let Terry talk.
I'll let Terry talk, don't you worry. What does Carlo say to the lads after a performance like that? With a Man City game and a Liverpool game on the horizon, having just lost to one of the worst teams in the league.
Be better. Simple as that. Like, just you've shit it now. You need to go against two of the hardest, probably two of the hardest fixtures, if not the two hardest fixtures on the calendar. Man City and Liverpool. Like, Liverpool are in bad form at the minute, but they're still, got a great record against us, and they're still a great team. These next two games, we need to pick up the points that we didn't get against Fulham. We haven't got the luxury now of
game in hand.
Yeah, I mean, the derby's something else, but Man City now, you can't just go, well, it's Man City. It's like, no, we need to try and beat Man City. No, we need to expect a result when it's probably not realistic to expect a result, because they're better than everyone. But now we've we've lost the luxury of going into that one. If we'd have beat Fulham,
because it's treated that like a free hit if we got 3 against Fulham.
Not now. It's not now. Got to beat Man City now, and let's be honest, it's not going to be easy, that is it? But I don't know. The players' attitude has got to change. He said it after the Newcastle home game, that he said they got lazy. He said they just thought they had to turn up and win.
And it's one home game down the line in the league, and they've done it again.
I know. I don't know whether last night was attitude or just there was a bad attitude, don't get me wrong, but I don't know whether that was the main problem like it was against Newcastle, or whether it was just
burnout from the Spurs game, or
they couldn't they couldn't implement the tactics correctly, or the tactics were wrong to begin with. I think it's probably a bit of both on that one. Like, I was, you said about Twitter, then I just switched Twitter off last night. I was like, nah, I can't be bothered with this hysterical shrieking coming from Twitter. It's like, problem you've got with anything like that now is, and I blame Arsenal Fan TV entirely for this, that now, if you criticise a manager, it means you want him sacked in the eyes of everyone else. Or you're the other way, and you actually do want him sacked over losing a game, which is even worse. So you feel sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you say, yeah, I think Carlo got that wrong. He did get it wrong, but that wasn't the reason we lost. If Carlo is the least of the problems last night, there was well enough quality on that pitch to beat Fulham, and they got absolutely tonked. They got made a show of by Fulham, and no game in this league is easy. But some of them are easier than others, and that should have been one of the easier ones to win. And we made it look like we made it look like that last night was Man City, and we were instead of this week. So I think the case is pick up the pieces, learn the lessons from the game. Lesson number 1: don't play that centre-back partnership again. Doesn't work.
Don't play a diamond.
Really didn't work.
Don't play a diamond. Owen's just said it then.
Play anything. Play 10 strikers and no defenders if you want, but just don't play a diamond.
And the only small positive I can take from the game, or two maybe, is despite the bizarre substitution, Tom Davies seems to have, carrying on his good form. He was the only one who stood out as having giving an account of himself.
Yeah, say what you like about Tom Davies. I think he does, like, regardless of whether he's playing well or he's playing badly, he at least has a go.
Yeah, I mean, and another small positive is Josh King got on the score sheet, which was ruled offside. So, but it makes you think, well, he looks lively. He looks like he looks like he can score.
He looks interested, which is a damn sight
better
than the majority of them.
Why isn't he starting the game? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, it basically was encouraging, going, okay, so he actually has got something. So, we might see that going forward. We might score a goal off the bench eventually. We haven't done it yet. We nearly done it last night. But, this thing. And also, let's be honest, it showed the importance of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We wouldn't have played any better with him there, but didn't half miss him.
But the one thing that's worth asking is, obviously, Josh Meyer scored both of their goals. Would it have been worth going after him instead of King? Obviously, Fulham were in for King. Should we have gone for Meyer instead?
I think King could have played for Fulham last night. He'd have got to. I mean, it wouldn't have made no difference. It was just what it was. I think Josh Madge is a decent player. He did well, but I don't think King's embarrassed himself every time he's come on for Everton. I think he's done quite well. So it's hard to say, to be honest. King's experience in the Premier League, I can see why they went for him.
Yeah, it's just a case of I'm not sure if he's been fit to play 90 minutes since he's come in. And I'm trying to think in the circumstance, obviously we've lost Calvert-Lewin for a little bit. We need someone we can call upon. Is he the man? Because we still haven't given him 90 minutes, even though our main man's out.
He has to start one of the next two for me.
Yeah, certainly.
If Calvert-Lewin's not fit to play both games, obviously you want him more for the derby because, Man
that
City
looks more winnable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's bizarrely for the derby, but if you never thought I'd say that, but if you're playing Josh King, if you haven't got Calvert-Lewin in the City game, then you've got to start Josh King. You might not even, his fitness notwithstanding. Richarlison last night, everyone's been slating him for the amount of touches he's had. One, we weren't using him with the runs, as Owen said, but he didn't seem to know where he was meant to be playing. Like
I didn't know where he was playing.
No, I think he is a striker more than a winger, but he's clearly not someone who can play the number 9 by himself consistently for a long time. At least not yet, he can't. So if we haven't got Calvert-Lewin going into the City game, then I'd like to see King up front with Richarlison on the left again, and then see if we get any better, better chemistry out of that.
Do you know what I don't get right? We come off a back of 120 minutes of just pure effort against Tottenham, and we got through that, and great. If we're knackered for the Sunday, do you not think the most basic of basic 4-4-2s of just winning your battles, doing the basics against Fulham would have sufficed instead of putting in a really complicated system that we're not very good at, and adds to the confusion of as well as the overall fatigue of the team instead of just playing basic.
I agree with this, and again, even if it meant the players were good for the City game and we lost to City, there's less shame. There's less shame in losing to City than there is losing at home to Fulham.
Yeah.
I think the system and the foot on the lineup he put out, he thought that'll win this game. It's the same every time. I think he thought that'll be better than the 4-4-2 because they'll have more of the ball, more control of it. Fulham are going to sit in and we're going to have the ball all night, and it didn't work out like that. So he thought that was the best way of managing the fitness, clearly, when you see the selection choices he made. But
well, before Fulham we're going to sit back against us, we should get a new opposition preview manager.
Get me on. I'll do the opposition preview management for them.
I could have told you how Fulham would have played. So,
but I just think when you look at the lineup, if he starts Sigurdsson, Gomez, and James Rodriguez, he thinks he's going to have about 70% of the ball. If he starts all three of them, he thinks it's going to be our attack versus their defence. He's got that one badly wrong. I think, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the type of game, I think only one of them can start. And I know which one I prefer. Obviously, there's been times where Sigurdsson's been worthwhile having. All both of those times have been good, I suppose. But you can't have all three, because whilst they're all decent footballers in their own right, in their own way, sometimes with two of them, you can't have all three of them. You're just easy to dominate the midfield, and that showed last night.
What was going on with James Rodriguez? He looked like he went off with an injury, but it looked as though he wasn't even touched when he got clattered. I know it was a hard tackle, but it looked like he completely missed him.
He's injury prone, isn't he? So I when you see him play, I never get the impression that he lacks commitment or effort. I know it's easy to point that finger at him, but I think he's got to be very careful with his body. I think if he feels things, he comes off, and I think he's probably under instruction to do that. I see players who never get injured who've got less commitment than he has. I just think that's
not naming names there.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he comes off because he can't bother with the game. I think he was having a bad game, same as the rest of them were, but no, I don't think he cries off. I think it's just he's very easily injured, so they have to be very careful about when he picks up.
It does look like they're really wrapping him in cotton more, because we saw it against Man United as well, didn't we? When it didn't look like there was anything wrong with him, but Carlo took him off anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, for me, you can't play all three of them. Like Sigurdsson has 3 or 4 good games a year at this point. He's probably had them so far now. He might have one more left in him before the season's over. Gomez, he can pass 80 yards with both feet onto a postage stamp, but he can't shoot. He's 25 yards from goal under no pressure, and he's closer to the corner flag than he is the goal. But if you ask him to pass to someone when he's in the left back position, out onto the opposition's left back position, he'll put it onto. He can pick the lace of the boot of the player. I don't get how he's so good passing, but he can't, do anything offensively, anything that might, actually impact the game. I don't understand it, but I don't know. Yeah, so one of the three, and for me, it's James if he's fit. So.
Yeah, definitely. If not, who would you pick, Gomez or Sigurdsson? Because that's a big debate, isn't it?
Jamie Martin.
Out of them two, you know what? Probably Sigurdsson at the minute, because although neither of them are very good, at least he's affected games more recently than Gomez. Gomez seems to only be any good if he comes off the bench for 20 minutes. So let him do that.
Yeah, do it that way.
I'd pick Andre Gomez if we had no fit midfielders, so guess the answer.
Oh, there you have it. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. We'll the less we talk about that game, the better. Everton 0, Fulham 2. Let us know your opinions, guys. Drop a comment below. Give the video a like and subscribe for more content. And until next time, thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.